In London, a group of Bangladeshi Muslims are openly opposing the idea of British patriots rallying in their own capital city. We will get into this madness, but first make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more British content. Just think about that for a moment. These are people who have chosen to live in Britain, who benefit from the opportunities, freedoms, and way of life here. Yet they feel they have the right to dictate when and how the native people of this land can celebrate their identity and fly their own flag. Now let's flip the situation for perspective. Imagine a group of white British people moving to Bangladesh. They decide to hold a protest against the Bangladeshi people for waving their national flag or honoring their culture. The very thought of it is absurd. It would never be tolerated, nor should it be. Bangladeshis would rightly be outraged at outsiders telling them they shouldn't take pride in their heritage. And yet here in Britain, this disrespect is happening in real time, and we're expected to just accept it. This isn't simply about a rally, it's about something much bigger, whether or not the native population is allowed to show pride in its own culture, history, and traditions without interference. For generations, British people have opened their doors to communities from all over the world, and we've been told that diversity means mutual respect. But what respect is shown when those very communities now try to silence the pride of the people whose country they came to? It's insulting, it's hypocritical, and it strikes at the heart of national identity. No one is asking immigrants to stop celebrating their backgrounds or waving their own flags. They do so freely and in many cases with full public support. The question is simple: why is it acceptable for every group except the British themselves? When outsiders can openly try to shut down British patriotism in Britain's capital, it shows just how upside down things have become. And if we don't stand up for our culture now, we risk losing the very thing that makes this country ours. Have a watch of this.
Tommy Robinson's got no place in Tower Hamlets.
আপনারা দেখলাম আমরা কমিউনিটি ওয়াক পিসফুল ওয়াক আমরা সব এখানে আসি খুব সব
কে কোনো অ্যাসাইলাম সিকার্স অথবা রেফিউজিজ এগোরো নাই সরি হোটেলও নাই বাট আমরা দেখলাম গত কয়েক সপ্তাহ ধরে ইনো মানুষ প্রোটেস্ট করা হোটেলের বাড়া মেইনলি প্রোটেস্ট হইল অ্যান্টি ইমিগ্রেশন আর অ্যান্টি রেফিউজি যে আমরা তারা ইনো চাই না আজকে আই লাভ ডগজর কমিউনিটি একত্রিত হয়েছেন এরা কোনো কাউন্সিল ইনিশিয়েটিভ নাই বাট রেজিডেন্ট লেড লোকাল মানুষে তারা কাউন্সিলর হলে দরিয়া তারা আগুয়াই আইছেন টু অর্গানাইজ এ পিস ওয়াক যে তারা কমিউনিটিরে মানে রিঅ্যাসুরেন্স দিতে চাইটা যে আমরা ফ্যাসিজমের এগেইনস্টে রেসিজমের এগেইনস্টে asylum seekers are...
At the end of the day, this really comes down to two simple principles: respect and fairness. Think about it. No other country on earth would tolerate a situation where outsiders tried to silence their people from showing pride in their own heritage. Go anywhere else: France, India, Nigeria, Poland, America, and you'll see people celebrating their flags, their traditions, their culture right there in the open. Nobody accuses them of hate for doing so. In fact, it's expected, it's celebrated. So why should Britain be any different? Why are the British people told they must hide their pride, keep quiet about their traditions, or feel guilty for raising their own flag in their own homeland? If others can freely celebrate their identities on our streets, then surely the people of this nation must be able to do the same. That's not extremism, that's equality, that's fairness. And let's be clear, patriotism is not hate, it is not division. Patriotism is love, love for one's country, love for the history, the culture, and the sacrifices that built it. Love for the future we want to protect for the next generation. It's about cherishing the very things that hold a people together. Yet, in Britain today, too many are made to feel ashamed of that love. Too many are told that to wave the Union Jack is somehow provocative, or even racist, but nothing could be further from the truth. Waving the flag is not about excluding others. It's about standing proudly for who we are. No one should ever feel ashamed of that. No one should be silenced for that. And no one should be made to feel like a stranger in their own country simply for standing up for their identity. Because if we lose the right to celebrate who we are, we lose the very heart of our nation.
In other news,
The Metropolitan Police have had a request to interview its primary suspect in its investigation into the disappearance of Madeleine McCann rejected. It comes after Madeleine disappeared at the age of 3 from her bed in a holiday apartment in Praia da Luz in Lagos, Portugal, on the evening of May 3, 2007. Senior investigating officer into the disappearance of Madeleine McCann, DCY Mark Cranwell, said the Met Police had worked closely with our policing colleagues in Germany and Portugal for a number of years and support Madeleine's family to understand what happened on the evening of the 3rd of May, 2007. We are aware of the pending release from prison of a 49-year-old German man, Mr. Cranwell added. He said Christian Bruckner has been the primary suspect in the German federal investigation into Madeleine's disappearance. We can confirm that this individual remains a suspect in the Metropolitan Police's own investigation, Mr. Cranwell said. We have requested an interview with this German suspect, but for legal reasons, this can only be done via an international letter of request, which has been submitted. However, Mr. Cranwell said that Bruckner had rejected the request. It was subsequently refused by the suspect, he said. In the absence of an interview, we will nevertheless continue to pursue any viable lines of enquiry. Mr. Cranwell said no further information could be provided while the investigation continues. Any questions about the conditions around his release should be directed to the German authorities, he added. The update from the Met Police comes after it confirmed its investigation into Madeleine's disappearance remained active in June. A police spokesman said the force continued to receive Home Office funding for the operation. The clarification came after a video circulated online in early June which falsely claimed the Met had ceased investigating the case 18 years after the 3-year-old British girl vanished. The video incorrectly suggested the force had received £100,000 without conducting any investigation. A Scotland Yard spokesman confirmed it had secured Home Office funding for Operation Grange for the 2025/2026 financial year, maintaining its commitment to the high-profile case. The Home Office allocated up to £192,000 for Operation Grange in the 2024/25 financial year, according to Lord Hanson of Flint, Minister of State at the Home Office. He told Parliament in February that funding is reviewed annually. The department maintains regular contact with the Operation Grange investigation team to monitor progress and expenditure. Since the operation began in 2011, total costs have reached £13.2 million through the 2023/24 financial year. Lord Hanson noted that in-year costs will not be available until after the conclusion of the current financial year. The Home Office declined to provide additional comment on the funding arrangements. Mr. Cranwell previously emphasised the operation's long-standing commitment to the case. He said the Met's investigation remained active since 2011. A dedicated team has always been assigned to the case to try to understand what happened on the night, Mr. Cranwell added. What are your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video? Let me know down in the comment section below. If you have not yet already, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more British content. Thank you, take care, goodbye.